Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Santa's Workshop. Well, all the hard parts done. Now for the harder part, cleaning this mess up. So, I know watching me sand and grind on a frame, scrub parts, all that stuff is not going to be exciting. So, what I want to do is I want to intermix a little bit of that with a little bit of something else. But I want to first give a shout out, number one, to Lawrence T. If you will remember, he is the one who sent me the money to buy the cowl hood for the Caballero a year ago or more. Well, he's just come through again and got me brand new trailing arms. Remember I said I talked about that one being bent? Well, he sent me, he went to the original parts group and ordered these. Thank goodness they don't have bushings in them because I've got the the Pro thing to go in. So thank you, Lawrence. Thank you. And I'm very excited because I think he is going to be down here to visit. He lives up in the Great White North, up where Santa lives. But I think he's going to come down for a visit. So if he does, we'll get to see him on camera here real soon. Somebody else I want to thank is Chris P. He sent me this, among other things, which I put them on my registry, and next thing I know, I've got them. Chris P., thank you. And if I will have to go back and look in my back post, I think Chris also sent me something for the Corvette. Now, don't quote me on that. If it's another person, you know, I'm sorry I'm thinking of that, but something's ringing in my bell that I'm thinking he is the one who sent me something for the vet. But I'll check into that. But anyways, we're going to sand and clean a little bit on this. I've got to get the brake cleaner and spray it where I have lubricated all the bolts. So I want to go around with the brake cleaner, get that hit so to get the oil off. And then I'm just going to come in with my wire brush, my flap disc, grinder. I want to come in and I want to clean this factory mess up. I mean, that, I understand it's done with machines and everything, but whew, that is just rough. I mean, look at that right there. But I want to clean all that up. Mainly because, you know, nobody's going to see it, number one. But number two, if I want to go working on this thing later on, I want to be able to run my hand up and over the frame and not lose skin and blood. So, that being said, I want to smooth off everything I can on this before I prime it and paint it. But I need to get my oven hooked up because I am now at the point as when all these suspension pieces get cleaned, I need to get them powder coated and baked. So that's going to be one thing I'm going to be doing. My sandblasting cabinet. I got to do a little bit of work on it to get it to work right. I'm thinking I need a different sand. I think what I have is a little bit too granular. So I may check into getting some walnut hull because I know that's supposed to be real good. But I got to get that going. You can see the wheels back there behind the ladder. I've got those. And I've got these right here. I need to get these tires off. I got to get those sandblasted so I can get them powder coated as well. So I can get these tires put on. Those are going to make a nice looking tire on that car. Not as wide as I was wanting, but I mean for highway cruising, that's all I need. And if I ever want to take it to the track or something to do some hard launches, I've always got these down here at the bottom until that Camaro gets done. So, we'll get busy. Don't know what I'm going to do first, but hey, we'll do something. Okay. This is about an hour's worth of grinding, sanding. You can see where I cleaned up most of the welds. I mean, look at that spot right there. Still got a little bit of rust to knock off. That looks a lot better right through there. This was chunked up. I mean, size of pencil erasers in spots. I'll show you what this other side looks like that I hadn't touched yet. You can see the MIG wire. This right here isn't too bad. You got a chunk sticking up right there, right there. And I found one up toward the front end when I was wiping the grease off up there. If I would have run my hand across it, it would have gouged it open. So I'm just going to take my time, go over this whole frame, get all these little burrs off of it, which, I mean, yeah, it's an added thing that I don't need to do, but I want to. I mean, we're going to be looking this good under here. I might as well, I want the whole thing to look good. And to be free of cutting your hand open when you're working on it. But I'm not going to bore you with going over the rest of the frame like this. It's going to take me several days to get this done. I've got to get all these parts done. I'm going to have to end up getting new calipers, and I put a set on my wish list. They're Power Stop brand, but these have got pits down inside. I could probably get away with them, but it's one of those things where, you know, for no more than what 2 new ones cost, I might as well replace them. But I'm going to clean all this junk off, and the castings marks on this, I want to grind all them off too, make that look nice and pretty. Then when we get them painted, I don't know whether to paint those or to powder coat them. I might powder coat them. I'll have to tape off the spindles when I spray it, but that won't be hard. Okay, well, we're going to get on to other things. I'm probably going to run to town and find me a plug for that oven so I can put that in this video, because I got to get that up and going, and I got to try it out and make sure everything's going to work right before I start trying to powder coat all this. Okay, let's get busy. In true YouTuber fashion, I forgot to hit record. But we've got the frame loaded. Now this week's video is going to be a whole hobnob of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Not going to get the really good one of, well, I might get that oven hooked up this week. We'll see.
We'll maybe get the stand built today.
Well, we got Delbert here. Hey, Delbert.
Everyone, nice to see you again. Or, well, talk to you anyway.
There you go. It's nice to see you, Delbert.
Thank you.
And we got Josh.
Hello.
He come out here and helped us slide this thing on the trailer.
Okay, tell them the truth. I didn't do nothing.
You did. You did. You moved those big, heavy jack stands out of the way so we wouldn't trip
I feel
on
like
them.
you think I'm old.
Well, I'm older than you, ain't I?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But things have occurred since I put out my last retro video. I have found somebody who is going to sandblast the frame for us. And he's just literally 5 miles away from the house. So I'm getting this thing loaded up, and we're going to take it to him and let him get this done. So hopefully by the end of this week, guess what? This is going to be painted. And if this is painted, then I want to try and get all the bushings out of my stuff and, you know, all the A-frames and everything, get them painted, and we're going back together with this thing by next week.
Right on.
What do you think, Josh?
Like it. So let me ask you a question. Is this frame better than the Monte Carlos frame? Because I think it is.
Oh, yes.
We don't want to tell Randy that, though.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Because I have a feeling this frame would disappear one night in the middle of the night and be underneath the Monte Carlo.
Underneath the car before you tell Randy that.
There you go. There you go. No, actually, the frame on Randy's is not bad.
No, it's not. It's just got some few dents underneath. That's about it.
Yeah. And I mean, this one here's got dents too. You can see right there in that frame rod on the other side. It's got a nice little knock up on that. But I'm going to be straightening all that out. I'm still got to finish grinding all that.
Oh, show them this one. This is beautiful.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's factory welds. Factory. I mean, look at this. That you see in the beginners at Votech in the welding class. That, I mean, look at all this, Delbert.
I know. I could do better, and I'm a very much a novice. But I would have a great teacher.
Well, I'm not the best in the world, but you know what? It holds. But it's not grease. It's just something dripped on it at one time.
And just welded itself to the frame.
Yep. But I mean, look at this cross member. That right over there is the only place there was grease on it.
Oh, look, there's one there. I almost got my finger on.
Yep. Sure enough.
Good Lord.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to get this thing latched down and drop the trailer off because we still have to move the old 305 engine over there in the corner out. We're going to put it in the barn. Then we're going to get the oven moved over here where the Corvette was at. And then I got to move the Corvette back in. There's just so much to do in so little time, and hopefully we can get something done.
And clean the floor on top of all that before we get underneath here again.
That's another video. Alrighty, let's get back busy. All right, everybody, check this out. I have got an oven on a cart. Look how easy this is to move. Oh, it just rolls so nice. Now, the microwave on this is broken. That's the reason I got it for what I did. I want to use this for my storage for my powder coating parts. Then this, you drop it down, and we have an oven that we can powder coat parts in. Now then, I'm going to get this thing wired up. And no, I'm not going to show you how I wire it because I am not an electrician. But I want to get this wired up with a plug. And we're going to come back and we are going to see if we can powder coat something. Just to try. Just to see if we can do it. Old Delbert, he's over there kicking up a sweat.
I'm sweating now. I got to take my sweat.
He's over there sweeping the floor. I had to sit down and let my back rest for a minute. He picked up a broom and started sweeping the floor. Dusted me out. I had to move. Can you believe? Wow. Now, he is a one of a kind, and I'm glad to have him here. But we got the old 305 out. I got a little picture of that going out to the barn. Got the frame loaded onto the trailer. Well, shoot, I guess the rest of this video is going to be me trying to powder coat something. So, I'm going to get that plug wired on and we'll see what we can do. Okay, as you can see, we got power on our oven. And I'm sorry I didn't show you that wiring up that plug, but I am not an electrician, don't claim to be. I've done enough. I know kind of what I'm doing. But I don't want none of y'all to take any lessons from me on this. But keep it unplugged when we're not using it. And Delbert's over here.
Playing in sand.
Playing in the sandbox. This is the first time we've had this going in a couple of years. But I want you to look at that. Show them the other side. There's a before and after picture of it. I think that's going to turn out looking really nice.
The bushing's going to go in there really easily now.
Oh yeah. I just hope they're not too easy, if you know what I mean.
Heat and cold. We got the oven now.
Oh,
need some dry ice.
There you go. All right. Well, Delbert's working on that, and here in a minute we're going to stop and go over to Randy's and hopefully get something going over there. But we got the frame loaded up. Before I end this video, we're going to try powder coating something. I want to come back another day and do that. But things are getting done around here. I'm excited. All right, Delbert and Josh helped me get the oven hooked up, which I showed you. And let's see if we can figure out how to do this. Let's do bake 350. This thing needs to go to 400. So 400. Press start, hold for 3 seconds. And we're heating. Okay, now that this is going, let's get out the powder coating. This is what we got. Dual voltage powder coating system. Step 1, clean. Step 2, coat. Step 3, cure. So I've got me a piece hanging up here in the doorway. So we got ventilation, wind blowing pretty good today. This is just a little piece, get around here, of aluminum that I found in my scrap parts pile. Have no idea what it goes to. So we are going to spray it and see how it comes out after we put it in there for 10 minutes. So I want to get you set up. I want to figure out here what we're going to do, how to do this spraying, and we will come back in a moment. Okay, I want to take her out of the oven. Still a little warm in here. Yeah, you can see I got a little thin right there. Ooh, that backside looks pretty though. Look at that. Can you see that? Wow. That come out nice. That little fellow is still pretty darn hot. But yeah, now when you get something like this, you can go back and recoat. So that's not a big issue. But as I said, this was a scrap piece. I'll play with a couple more scrap pieces, but first thing I got to do is figure out a spray booth that will contain all that powder without a lot of air blowing, because that's the reason why I had this. The wind was blowing like crazy, and I had that fan going to make sure all the powder went out of the shop, and I ended up with that. But man, I really like the way that looks. Well, not bad for my first piece. Oven works good. All the sides and everything are nice and cool. And let's show you what all else has happened. I have got a sandblasted frame. Yeah, you saw the little clip of me pulling it in. Took him my A-frames. Now some of these I still got to knock the bushings out. Got to get the ball joints out. But he just threw those in there. Did them for free. I really appreciate him for doing that. But after I get the frame painted, get these painted, start putting some things together, I'm actually going to take my wheels right there. I got to get those 2 tires off. I got the other 2 wheels, I've already got the tires off. And take those over there to him, let him sandblast them, and I'm going to get them painted. I thought about doing powder coating on them, but I want a higher gloss than what that powder coat can do. And they're going to have the trim rings and the center caps, so the wheel itself really isn't going to be getting hit with rocks. So I think a good powder coat, gloss black with a clear coat over it will protect it for as long as I'm still here. But that's where we're at now. Thank you for joining me on this little chopped up here, there, and everywhere video. But I got to get the frame, get all the factory welding ground down on this frame, get it primed and painted. Hope to get that done within the next 2 days. We got rain and stuff coming in, so I'm going to have to get it done quick or we're going to have rust problems. But I appreciate you joining me on this. We'll see you next week on Santa's Workshop.